everyone, the Finance 360 is at the Retail Congress MENA 2025. Let's hear what industry experts have to say about what's shaping the retail landscape this year in the GCC, Middle East and across the globe. Welcoming Koral Ibrahim to Finance 360. Hi, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very good.
I
very
have
inspired.
a few questions for you.
For sure.
Your work in social branding focuses on community building.
Yep.
What elements must a brand get right to resonate with local audiences in the GCC?
That's a big question. They need to get the understanding of their audience correct first, before they think about community. My biggest provocation today has all been about the fact that there's a difference between an audience member, a customer, and a community member. And in order to really truly build community, you need to have brands that play a role, an active role, within the culture, the cultural interests of its audience, not just inundate them with sales messaging, to come to our malls, to about discounts that we've got on and opening times have extended. You know, this is about how the opinion of the brand comes to life to really truly resonate with this audience.
In your view,
Yeah.
how can fashion and hospitality brands shift from transactional marketing to creating lasting emotional connections with the consumers in the market?
Well, they have the best thing to their peril, which is physical space. For me, the future of physical space is all about it being treated like a programmable piece of media. And what that means is their stores should no longer be just about buying products. Consumers nowadays are doing that increasingly online. They are buying through websites, social channels. And so what does that mean for the future of bricks and mortar? It means that they're almost like performance stages. What we need to be doing is programming them. Brands within fashion, hospitality needs to be thinking about the content they're putting on within these spaces, actively having participation, co-creation with their audiences. And almost the traditional sense is a brand speaks down to its consumers, whereas I think the brands of the future are going to be co-creating with them. They're going to be on a similar level to their consumers. They're going to actually invite them around the boardroom table, not physically, but obviously through digital channels, to think about how they make the decisions on the next makeup line, on the next thing that they sell, on how to do product tutorials. So the most important thing is that we create these mechanisms for consumers to be brought in, number one, but number two, as a consequence of how they feel more emotionally connected to the brand and what the journey is that the brand is on.
And lastly, what trends are you seeing in digital storytelling and content creation that retailers should pay attention to in 2025?
Other bags.
Trends. I'm seeing a lot of spaces that are thinking about the lifestyle of their customer. So there are some fantastic examples of brands who are not focusing on sale of product. They are creating 2, 3, 4 stories of real estate, which is about the lifestyle of the customer. So as a shoewear brand, you walk in, actually there's no shoes to buy. You are engaging with artists, with music, with food, with panel discussions. And that's a brand understanding its customer on a much more deeper emotional level. I see that as a trend now. How does that move going forward? I think you're going to be starting to see brands broadcasting live from their physical stores. They're going to start inviting influencers into their stores to broadcast to their community, but then you're going to measure a store's success not only by the footfall of the people who are in there, but also by the people who are logging in online. You know, it's going to be a true blurring between digital and physical worlds.
Thanks, Koral. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Welcoming Dr. Heike to Finance 360. Dr. Heike, you've helped many global brands enter and succeed in the GCC. What are the most common misconceptions international retailers have about MENA consumers?
I think what they think is when they come here, they can apply whatever they apply in their home country. But it's very different here. You know, the consumer, actually many brands think that the consumer here is not as educated as back wherever they come from. But here, because of all the technology and, you know, being very much onto like mobile phones and whatever, they're very, very educated. They exactly know what are the trends and what's happening in the market. So I really believe that many of them, they try just to apply their strategy here, and it's a copy-paste, but it's not. They really have to change it and they have to localize it as well. And I think it also starts with a lot of the regulations we have here. We are in Europe, you can have like, for example, sales whenever you want. Here you can't because
Can you elaborate a little bit on the regulations in the GCC?
Yeah, absolutely. So here in Europe, or for example, or even in the US, as a brand, you can always do sales whenever you want. Here you have a quota, and there are certain periods where you can do certain activities. And for example, if you look at Qatar, you have only a certain numbers of days per year where you can be on sales. Also, when you apply for a sale, you have to stick on that sale for the period you're given at the beginning. And so there's a lot of liberty outside of the region, but here you have a lot of restrictions, which sometimes brands don't understand. And so this is where my role comes in. I'm becoming like kind of a mediator between what is and isn't possible, and help them to smoothen, so to say, the onboarding into the region. The region has fantastic opportunities, you know. It's like it's growing, it's blooming, it's like has a desire for new brands. But you have to be careful and understand how the region works, and then you can fly and you can be successful and have really a fantastic growth.
How do you advise companies to localize their customer experience strategies while still maintaining their global brand identity?
Well, the DNA of the brand is core value, so there's nothing we ever want to change. However, I think the localization, especially for special production, you know, there's certain things, for example, t-shirts with animal prints or 3/4 sleeves are not so much liked, and I think that's again where my experience come into place. Also for men, for example, the slip-in shoes are very much liked, you know, because they need it for the prayers. You know, if you go 5 times per day per prayer, you don't want to always do your laces, you know. Same about, for example, nubuk and velvet shoes, because we are in the sandy industry, and we have lots of sand and lots of dust, you know, so it's much harder to maintain rather than not. And so this is where it's like small details where we see that the brand itself obviously has to keep its DNA and it's like a corporate identity, you know. But if there's ways I can influence, and in most of the brands I've been working for, at least 10 to 15%, they adjust to what is happening in the region and what is needed and required for the region. So I'm quite lucky and fortunate, you know, that they understand and they appreciate it as well, and adjust as far as they can.
Also, lastly, what role does trust play in shaping long-term consumer relationships in this region?
It's a core value, trust. You really have to build that you are there tomorrow. You know, this region, if you see and you follow the statistics, you have a lot of brands coming and a lot of brands leaving. You know, it's like a click, you go, and the next time you come, it's not there anymore. So I think when you start on that stage, you have to give them, also, I think a lot of customers want to know where are you coming from, what is the history and your success back in your home country. And then they will understand and they will come and build, and you know, just you have to show up every day and be there every day and expand your network and make sure that they see you wherever you go.
Thank you, Dr. Heike. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Hi everyone, welcoming David Macadam, CEO, Middle East Council of Shopping Centers and Retailers to Finance 360. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fantastic.
Likewise, it's a pleasure to speak to you, and we have like a few questions.
Sure.
We're very excited.
My pleasure.
So according to you, how has the retail landscape in the GCC evolved over the past decade, particularly now with the rise of AI and digital integration?
Well, it's a great question. And in 2014, now you said the last few years, but let's start about 2014. Is that okay?
2014.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So during that time, we wrote a book, our organization wrote a book called Souks to Malls, Evolution in the Gulf. And it was a history from the 1860s through to 2014. 1860s photographs were done in Mecca, and they came through in the 60s in Dubai and the souks. And then 2014 was Abu Dhabi with some major shopping centers there. So what's happened? There's been some huge transitions, but the main thing that has happened is everyone always loves to have that social time, connecting, community, buying. Yeah, of course you're going to buy something, but that's just the secondary part. It's more about connecting, about building relationships, about knowing that person still has another 5 dirhams less that I can negotiate. Or, you know, he knows I can get 5 more from you, whatever it is. It's all about community and experience.
What unique challenges and opportunities do developers face when launching large-scale retail projects in GCC countries compared to Western markets like Canada?
Well, I would say Canada is quite a mature market, and my experience with Canada, and also back and forth from Canada on a regular basis, I see it's quite a conservative, slow-moving industry. Retail is a slow-moving industry in Canada. Slower certainly than here. The GCC and beyond, it's quite a fast-moving industry, and people want to see what's going on. That started out early on, many years ago, by Sheikh Maktoum, when he suggested that tourism should play a major role in what we're doing with the retail. And so at this point in time, in the shopping centers like Dubai Mall, Mall of Emirates, Dubai Hills Mall, tourists contribute to about 40% of the sales and the purchases that go on in these shopping centers. That's a huge amount. And in many other countries, many other cities, many other shopping centers, that tourism component of the sales is not there. So when you get the best of the brightest shopping centers being very successful, you have to remember what makes them successful. What it is the attention to detail and the fact that you don't allow too many shopping centers to be built on top of each other.
But so with such a stiff competition now, how are we seeing the retail industry evolve in the next couple of years, maybe 5 years from now in the GCC?
It's going to be much more experiential. So let me give you an example. Michael Hirschfeld, who was on the stage with me today, and he's got a new listing in Las Vegas. And in the shopping center, there's 2 new residential towers, 3 hotels, a baseball, like a professional baseball field, a professional football field, basketball, and a professional ice hockey rink. And then they're thrown in some retail. The retail is almost whatever, but that's where the retail business is going. If you look at Vegas, now Vegas is an unusual example because the catchment is huge, but the catchment here is also huge. If you look within a 5-hour flight, how many billion people? 3 billion, 4 billion. So there's a lot of people who can come here. But if you look at Vegas again, there's probably 40 million people a year go through Vegas, drive, fly. Here, there's still in Dubai, 10 million, 12 million. That's the kind of numbers that we expect.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, and thanks for your time. Hi everyone, welcoming Mohammad Alawi to Finance 360 Dubai, Chairman, Azad Properties and RED Malls. How are you feeling today, sir?
So far, so good. Very interested 2 days with the Retail Congress, and as you could see, live, dynamic, people are happy, sessions, exhibitors. So as usual, every year now, I am with this organization over 30 years, and I could see every day we are growing better, developing ideas better, and working together.
So my question for you is, you've led retail innovation for decades now. What's one global trend you'd like to see adapted in the GCC very soon?
You know, I have to admit, GCC in general are ahead of the game in shopping mall and retail. Many countries, they come here and say, we are the first people who introduce entertainment, cinemas, ice slopes, water ski, all things had missing. So GCC in general, it become like an example for a lot of developers around the world. But one thing I think that we still missing in the country or the region is the real outlet mall. And there is a lot of difficulty because the majority of the retailer operators are not that much interested on that concept of the outlet mall as happening everywhere in the world. So really I would like to see one day a good proper outlet mall concerning good value, good quality, good price. And this is what is still developing very slowly but on a shy way.
If you could just highlight a little bit more on the trends that's shaping the GCC landscape currently when it comes to the retail landscape.
Retail in general, it's developing according to each countries, according to incomes, but value retail are growing in this region, that number one. Luxury also is following, on that thing. But the luxury is vary from city to a city where people living in Kuwait is totally different from Saudi, is different from Qatar. But the luxury is booming. When we call about retail property, shopping mall, lifestyle now getting more and more mixing. As you see now, nobody's talking about shopping mall standalone. Shopping mall, mixed-use properties, hotel, offices, residential. Some of them, they go to the extreme medical centers, whatever. Beauty academies and those things. So lifestyle is, I think, the future of this business.
Lifestyle.
People
Absolutely.
looking for experience, and lifestyle bring the experience to the table.
Also, sir, what distinguishes Red Malls from other retail developments in the region?
Well, we are one of the players in the market. We do a lot of things in shopping mall. We develop our according to our need. We also now developing surrounding our properties the mixed use to make it more so you shop, live, work, and stay. The most important things, we care about customer. Customer is always evolve in our day-to-day studies and market. Whenever we go, we talk to our tenant, and I think it's win-win case together.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, and wish you all the good day, inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.